The standard is the standard. The standard is simply the standard. What's going on, champions? It's your coach MJ back at you with another episode of Sats and Success. It's time for us to learn and grow, so let's go. It's Monday. That means it's Motivational Monday, and boy, do I have something to get our week primed for success. If you're new to the channel, your first time stopping by, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. If you get any value from today's video, please, ma'am, please, sir, do me a favor and smash that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. With that out of the way, it was a wonderful weekend of football, a great weekend, college and pro. It started on Thursday, actually. And the game that really inspired me, the game that I'm going to use to inspire us, is the game that was played on Friday in the college football playoff, Indiana versus Oregon. Kurt Signetti, that man can coach his hind parts off. And that program is it's going to be a problem for many, many, many years to come because that man knows how to build a culture of winning. I remember back, and if he ever drops a book, I will be the first in line to read that book. I want to study him a little bit more and his success. But I remember an interview that he did a while back, and he confirmed something that I stand by, something that I preach and teach, and he did it in a different way. And he was talking about how in his program, they set a standard, and the standard is the standard. And that's what they play to. They don't play their opponent. They don't play the scoreboard. So if you see Indiana up 42-7, they're not going to pump the brakes. They're going to continue to play because they have a standard to which they play by. And that's the only thing that they play by. That is so monumental, champions, because when we subscribe to a standard and we don't compromise for that standard, we can achieve great things. See, there's three types of people in the world. You got people who have no standard whatsoever, okay? Then you have people, they have a standard, but it wavers back and forth, depending on what's going on, who they're around, whatever the circumstances are. And then you got those on the other side who have a standard and they stick to their standard. And those individuals are the ones that achieve great things. Okay. Let me give you a couple of examples before I wrap up this video. This is how, obviously, not having a standard, that speaks for itself. But those of you who have standard, all right, you have goals, you have a standard. This is what you have to abstain from, the wavering back and forth. Let's say you're a person that you don't drink on the weekday. Only you're a social drinker. You may have a drink on a Saturday. One of your friends comes over or calls you, texts you, say, hey, come and have a drink with me. Like, man, you know I don't drink on the weekday. Come on, man, it's just one drink. You're like, all right. You've compromised your standard. You have a standard for yourself whereby you don't drink on the weekday. You've compromised your standard. So that happens in the first week of the month. Third, fourth week of the month, you're a person that budgets, right? You're particular with your budget. You're pretty strict with it, but you see a pair of shoes that you just absolutely have to have, and it's going to take you over your budget. And so you buy those shoes. You see how when you start to compromise on your standard, it makes it easier for you to continue to compromise on your standard. The standard is the standard, champions. And no way, no shape, no form, no fashion should we ever compromise on our standard. If we want to achieve the best that that life has to offer, if we want to live our absolute best life, if we want to be the best possible version of ourselves, we have to create a standard and we have to live by that standard, come hell or high water. Doesn't matter whose influence it is. Okay? That's the message here on today. Way too many people do not have standards. And then the people that have standards, there's way too many people that waver on those standards. Set your standards, and that comes off of actually your goals, what it is that you want to achieve in 2026 and beyond. and you live your life according to those standards. That's what I learned from Coach Signetti. This man is going to go on and win a national title. Unless something crazy happens, and we can come back to this, and you can rag me in the comments if they don't. But he has a well-oiled machine over there in Bloomington, Indiana, and they are an extremely physical, well-coached team. I'm getting off on a tangent. I have a man crush for that guy. I want to get inside his brain, so I hope he writes a book so I can learn from him and some of the things that he's done to help himself and his program be the success that it is. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of the week. And always remember, stack those sats. Be blessed.